peeps? What's going on? Let's talk some Texas football. Texas to the SEC. Let's share this first. Who's on? What's up, guys? All right, I'm going to share this because I'm live right now. I just want to talk Texas football. I want to talk Texas to the SEC. I want to talk all this stuff, man. So let's go ahead and talk, folks, about what is going on now here at the University of Texas. Are you guys cool with Texas potentially going to the SEC? Like, what are your thoughts on that? So let's look at the questions, man. I am very intrigued with this just for the simple fact that if Texas goes to the SEC, folks, you're talking about a power conference that is like none other. You're looking at Texas, you're looking at OU. There are two blue blood programs that are no kidding, blue blood programs that are going to go to the SEC, which also has another blue blood program in Alabama. Just looking at Cal's tweet here lately, what did Cal say? There's 7 blue blood programs, and you're looking at, of course, Ohio State, looking at Alabama, Michigan, Texas, OU. That's 5. Who else? Oh yeah, Nebraska, and I'm missing one. But you're looking at like 7 teams that are true blue bloods, and Texas is one of those. And so you add Texas and you add OU to the equation, and you're in a conference that's stacked. And series again, us playing A&M. You guys know those are some of the best games ever. When I was in college, we used to wait in line for those tickets. What's up, man? What's up, KD35? What up, Nino? It's Hookem from Twitter. I'm ready for Texas to move. Yeah, I am too, buddy. Let me read these. It's real. It has to be soon. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Honestly, Texas just basically said that they're not going to re-up their deal. Them and OU for the 2025 season. So when you have that go on, it looks like for sure it's going to go down at least by 2025. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to go down. Like down sooner. Too much money in Texas. Too many good lawyers around where they can get their things negotiated out, and to be able to go to the conference as soon as possible. It would be awesome for them to go there in the 2023 season, and have a full schedule like that, be able to recruit the next, like 2 or 3 classes, basically knowing, yeah, if I had to guess, yeah, I would say the same thing, man, 2023, same thing. Give me a second, guys. I need to share this to Twitter. Whenever we play A&M, we must beat them the first game. Yeah. We definitely needs to happen. Definitely needs to happen. Got to beat them the first game. Got to all the time. So yeah, it's gonna be, man. This is gonna be great. What are you guys' thoughts on that, man? What are your thoughts on Texas going to the SEC or potentially going to the SEC? GG, what if Aggies refuse to play us still? You know what? I was telling people this a long time ago. Like, if this were to ever happen, Texas A&M would have to say yes to vote us in, because if they don't say yes and vote us in, that just basically is validating everything that we have been saying as Texas fans for long. And said, of course, Texas isn't scared to play Texas A&M, but if Texas A&M says no to adding Texas to the SEC, now who's scared? Now, who is scared to play who? It's gonna be interesting, man. What's up, Eric? I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move too, man. I think it's an awesome move. I think it's a really good move. Yeah, matchups. I mean, just of a pod, So I saw something from the SEC network. They had like 4 different pods, and in Texas's pod, it was this. It was OU. A lot of pride in the over 12, but yeah, it was Texas. It was OU. It was Missouri, and it was Arkansas. And so people soon to forget that Texas and Arkansas is a rivalry, man. It is a huge rivalry. So that was huge back in the day. I mean, it's still, when Texas and Arkansas play, it's still a huge game. That is something that is going to be renewed. The Texas Arkansas rivalry game. The Texas, on Thanksgiving, Texas OU, of course. Those are 3 rivalry games that are just amazing, man. That is like awesome. I cannot wait to have something like that go down if it does. So I think it's a plus for everybody involved. Yeah, money talks. Well, yeah, money talks. What's up, Eric? Man. Welcome to the NC. Thanks, bro. Community member. Thanks, bro. But yeah, man. So it's gonna be very, very interesting to see what goes down, man. Haven't been live in a while. It's been a long time since I've been live. I need to do this more often. Right now, if this happens, no doubt, when we recruit, we can negative recruit the Aggies, saying they look. Yeah, ain't nobody afraid, right? Ain't nobody afraid, man. Ain't nobody afraid. So, um, yeah, it's going to be good. Concurrence, A&M, Texas should never, yeah, they should never have halted. You see, teams from different conferences always play each other. Um, you got South Carolina, Clemson, they play, right? They're in different conferences. It can happen. Um, Florida plays Florida State every year, right? So, I mean, it can definitely happen, man. Definitely happen. Hook 'em 92, yeah. Hook 'em '05, man. This might be the saving grace for closing the borders down. Yeah, yeah, future. I am so with you on that. Um, yeah, if Texas does indeed go to the SEC, they can say, "Hey, we are playing the best talent. We are the lead dog, the lead school in the state because we're Texas." We all know. Everybody knows that. Everybody besides the folks that are in College Station understand that Texas is the premier college in the state, and yeah, we'll just whip everybody again. Can we get the 11 votes to get in? I hope so, man. Yeah, we need 11 out of the 14, right? So three teams. So let's say, for instance, guys, what do you think? If Texas A&M, Missouri says no, who's the third team? Who is the third team? Well, who are two more teams they have to say no? Is it LSU? No, they're going to want that money. They're going to want that money. I just don't see another team saying no. I think this all makes sense because Texas goes over there, OU goes over there. From what I understand, all the money revenue goes up to like 38, almost $40 million per school. We say, Eric, don't we bring basketball? Yeah, you bring all sports, man. This isn't football. This is all sports, man. So you got to that, man. You got to do it. The only thing I think that's going to happen, man, as far as things, is uh, just the outcomes for the other schools. Your TCU's, your Baylor's, your West Virginia's, your Kansas. I think Kansas is going to be one of the only schools that's going to have a legit shot to go anywhere that they want to outside of the SEC. They are a blue blood program when it comes to basketball and a ton of money from basketball. There's only three or four teams when you think about basketball, and it's you're looking at Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, UCLA. Those are your teams, man. So those are like your blue blood basketball programs, and they're there for a reason. What else we got? You guys got a lot of comments. I like this. Let's look at top chats. Don't hit the brain. Yep, the Aggies really aren't against. This would be lethal, especially baseball would be stupid ridiculous. I don't see anyone else in it. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, our future. It's got to be A&M and probably Missouri, just from the history, the hated history in that, man. So you're talking about the opportunity, man. This is gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be pretty good. This is gonna help the recruiting. Kind of makes you want when Steve Sarkisian came. Do you think he was kind of told that this was probably going to go down? This is pretty awesome. He built this all star how to recruit the SEC, and yeah, this is gonna be good. It's gonna be. What are the questions? What are the comments, man? I like my boy Tim Crowder says, "Kill them all and let God sort them out." Oh man, what else we got? Let's take a look at some stuff here. Uh, yeah, I just honestly think if A&M does vote against this, mm, yeah, who's scared now? How will the scheduling go to decide the SEC championship? Now that is going to be interesting because what was proposed from the SEC today, if this was going to happen, there are going to be four pods, right? So uh, your four pods, the pod with Texas will be Texas, OU, Missouri, Arkansas. The pod with Texas A&M, I thought was Texas A&M. I'm not going to lie to you. Uh, Vanderbilt. Then was Texas A&M. I think South Carolina. yeah, and somebody else. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting. Maybe those pods are grouped into conferences, or maybe it's just the top two teams per record from all the pods. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. You know, very interesting to see how that works out. See if I got any more comments from you guys. Live chat. Oh, Evan Stewart's coming. What did Evan Stewart say about it, our future? I didn't see that. What you think Sark and Company? What you think Sark and Company say at the barbecue? We're heading to the SEC. Right, so some experts are saying neither Texas or you will wait to 2025. They will take the penalty. Hell yeah, I would take the penalty. Get the thing moving. He said that. Then if that's going to happen, it's a done deal. Kids want to play against the best, right? And we might talk the most smack. Yes, we are Texas. We understand that we have talent, and we do have talent, but iron sharpens iron. It is what it is. I mean, we all understand that. SEC has definitely had the best conference over the past, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years. So, yeah, you go play against some of the best talent, the guys who are going to the NFL, just on a normal basis religiously, and you're able to gain back your ground when it comes to strictly recruiting Texas. And Mama can come see the kids play. It's one thing that Mac Brown used to always say when he's having time and talking to the camera. It was he's sending the message out to Mama, right? Meaning that he wants to talk to the kids through the camera to let them know that their kids are going to be safe with him. And if a kid can come and win at Texas and stay in the state, and mom can come see that kid play 6, 7, 8 times throughout the year because they're going to be playing 6 times on their own campus, another time maybe at A&M. They're going to play the rival game at OU. So you're looking there. That's 7, 8 games that you're from. See, what kind of penalty? Uh, yeah, just what kind of penalty would they leverage on Texas if it's money? Who cares? Any sanction? I know. Hook on. There we go. Uh, our future message retracted. I think this is the rebirth of Texas athletics. I'm a diehard fan of the Big 12, but times change. Yeah, times have changed, man. Times have changed. It hasn't felt the same since we lost A&M. You know, that rivalry to me is a rivalry that should never go away. And so I am all for us playing A&M again. How about an 8-team West and East Division and play the other division schools? Yeah. So hey, Gigi, thanks for that. Thanks for that donation, buddy. Yeah. So I thought it was 4 pods, and those 4 pods, man, they had 4 different teams in each of those pods. And I don't know how it was going to be as far as who plays who in an SEC championship game, but in those 4 pods, you play every team in your pod every year. So that's going to be 4 games, and then you play every third year, and then the year, and so that's how you get teams, and then you have 3 out of conference. And so maybe those pods are grouped East and West, and the winner of the East and West, of course, will play each other, and then you have the SEC championship game, and then from there you'll have um, your guys going to bowl games and stuff. Exactly. I don't understand the notion of Texas natives moving up to. I know, man. Yeah, Corey. You're totally right. It's a slam dunk, buddy. So if Texas A&M and Missouri succeeds in buying another vote, where else should? No, they got to get 2 more votes. They got to get 2 more votes. You got to get 11 votes out of the 14. So it would have to be um, Texas A&M. It would have to be Missouri and 2 other people to knock it down to 10 votes. Texas needs 11 votes to get into the conference. They need at least 11. So they would have to find 2 more votes for them not to be able to get into the conference per the vote. And I don't see any teams turning down that kind of money. I think it's 38 million. I think it's like the minimum that these guys are going to get. Not sure if the four-pot method will work. Who will play in the championship game? Like I said, I think with the four-pot method, it's going to be, two of those pods each conference. So two pods in the West, two pods in the East. And the best team out of the East and the West to play each other in the conference championship game. But all that's notional. Let's just get over there and then just see what happens and how that works, man. Odd question. Sure, we're sick of it, but if it happens and does fast, say next year, how do you think it affects Q? Oh man, I'm cool with Malik, man. Quinn, it's a lost cause with Quinn. I think Archie Manning. I think Texas is in a really good spot with him anyway. I think this just helps even more because now he can still say he's kind of did his SEC lineage. Going to an SEC school, even if it's not named Ole Miss. See, do you see a 2 or 3 sector division SEC? That's a good question, man. I'm not sure. Not sure. That's a good question, Eric. It's a tough one. I'm not sure. Okay, there won't be 4 teams voting no. It will make them look like one. David, you're so true. If they vote no against Texas joining the SEC, it is basically telling everybody that they don't there and they're scared to play us. They're better than us, right? If they're so much better than us, like they say, they play the best conference, the best talent, they're better than us, then, hey, man, put up and shut up. Put up or shut up. Play. Just play the game. Play the game. And like Herm Edwards says, you play. Love Malik. It's hard to think how much Quinn loved Texas now. He just throws so much shade. Well, the hell with it. You remember Adrian Peterson threw a lot of shade over here. He didn't want to come to Texas, and who won the championship? We ended up winning the championship. He didn't. We have been a house divided for generations. We believe we're in orange and maroon. That's awesome. Hey, I'm the same way. My wife, ours is crimson though. I'm burnt orange. My wife's crimson. I have 2 nieces that went to Alabama. My wife's from Alabama. 2 sister-in-laws that went to Alabama, and of course, I'm the only Texas guy in the house. So 2022 and 2023, when we played Bama, it's going to get very interesting. Yeah, I'm like Texas all the way through. I wear Texas gear every day. My wife wears Alabama gear. My wife even has the house divided flag that I threw away. Don't tell her. So it is what it is. Rough crowd. We have been in a house. Yeah, love Malay. Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. What'd you say, Eric? Rough crowd? Why you say rough crowd? Are you talking about just my wife or what? Because she's a Bama? Most definitely, man. Most definitely. It is something else. But um, say she does pull for Texas. She does. I don't pull for Alabama. Don't tell her that. Play. She even wears Texas gear the whole time. She's a trooper. She's good. But I don't wear Alabama stuff. Not at all, my friends. Not at all. Mm-mm. And I don't root for Alabama at all. Yeah. So I put a question on Twitter, right? And it's kind of funny. So if Texas plays for a national championship while they're in the SEC, does A&M scream SEC, SEC, SEC when Texas plays? Yours is valid as well. 2 of my daughters graduated from UT, and they both married Aggies. Oh man, that sucks, bro. They're probably good kids though, man. They're good kids. Texas OU will still continue to have to be in that. Hell yeah, you can't move that game. Texas OU has to stay. Has to stay. Pros and cons. Okay, pros and cons of the SEC move. We kind of talked about it, Monty. The pros, of course. Texas gets the recruiting base, right? A&M can't. They can't say you guys play in the Big 12 and we're in the SEC, so we have the best talent. They can't use it against us anymore if that happens. We can definitely say we're in the SEC too. And our jersey says Texas. There's no other stuff. There's no state behind it. There's no A. It's Texas. We are the big brother. They're the little brothers. Always been like that. We all understand that. They know it. So those are the pros. I mean, it's the money. The 30 plus a year. From the revenue shares. The best usually in the state, but if they're able to go now to the SEC and still go to Texas, come on, man, you got to have it. Um, yeah, those are the pros. You have the rivalries back again. You have Arkansas, you have A&M. Of course, you already had OU, so you got all the rivalries again. I mean, so this is great for Texas, to be honest with you. And now it's just a matter of getting back to an area where Texas is able to put on the big boy pants and let's go play. And I think Texas can do it because we talent, and I think we got the coaching now that's going to get us to there. So I'm not even worried about it. Aggie will never chant SEC if it's for QT. I'm with you. What? Oh man. So John, great question. I just got off an interview with Mark Rogers TV on YouTube, and we were talking about this whole move. Mark hates the move. He says it's bad for college football. I don't know if I hate the move. But I like it for a Texas reason. We're a big state. You got to look at West Virginia. You got to look at TCU. You got to look at Texas Tech. Who's going to absorb these teams? Does the Big 12 still stay together? Cincinnati, UCF, Houston, do they just add those teams and make 12 over and rebrand it? But if they do that, it's going to be a weaker conference, of course, because you can't replace a Texas and you can't replace an OU, right? So what happens to Oklahoma State? I have no idea, man. If the SEC doesn't want, probably not. They only want those two teams to make it, 16 teams. Then Oklahoma State has to figure out a way to get into another. Hey guys, you there? All right. Del Conte would go down as a mastermind or complete. I think OG Del Conte is going to be just fine. He's probably been working this magic, man, for a year now, trying to get this done. It looks like he's got it done, man. So it's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. But like I said, guys, it's going to be interesting to see where these super conferences are going to go because this is indeed a super conference. If it happens, hasn't happened yet. So if this happens, guys, we can't worry about the other members of the Big 12. This is propel us. David, you're right. You know, when they do things, people move mountains to get those teams in certain places. There's a reason why Texas hasn't been in the best trend the last when it comes to football, but it's still consistently, guys, the richest football program in the country or the second richest, but 9 times out of 10, if I'm not mistaken, the past decade, they've always been the richest football school in the country. It's because it's Texas. So just imagine when Texas starts winning again. It's going to be something straight stupid. It's going to be something that you haven't seen before. But it just all depends, man. We got the new playoff system, that's going to open up 12 teams coming into the playoffs now. I think from a playoff standpoint, I think this actually might hurt Texas and OU because if 12 teams are going to get into the playoffs, all Texas and OU would have to do in the Big 12, and they're still going to finish in the top 10. If they win every game and loses one, or OU goes undefeated and we lose each other, and then we play a champ game and we backdoor and we go, I don't know, 12-1, both of us, or even 10-2 and 12-0. 9 times out of 10, both of those teams are going to finish in the top 12 and they're in the playoff. The SEC is going to be a lot harder to do that. But then again, on the other side, when you flip flop that, it's been a hassle to recruit in state because kids, it's kind of like, half one hand, half another, right? So you just got to figure out what's the best ratio for you. But I think Texas would be fine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Texas would be fine. We also just won Directors Cup. Yeah, we bring a lot to the table, David. You're the best sports program here in the country, and not just football, but all sports. You look at baseball, you look at track and field, you look at everything. Future. I'm not sure, how the SEC. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And it's going to be the toughest conference, and everybody's going to know it. So those teams are going to get the benefit of the doubt. And we've seen it happen before. And so now when you add, let's say, Texas goes undefeated, and let's say Bama gets beat by Texas, and they get beat by OU, and they get beat by I don't know, a 12-1 Georgia team. I mean, like a 10-1 Georgia team. I mean, like it's going to be interesting, man. So yeah, you can lose 3 games, but they're going to look at it and say, hey, look at the strength of schedule, and look at these guys. They're playing, no kidding, 4 or 5 power every year, and they're handling their own. I'm going to miss beating Tech and the looks on their faces when we walk back. Yeah, hey, Eric, you're totally right. It's all comes down to recruiting, man. And we've been losing a bunch of recruits to schools we know. And I want to backdoor the NIL, like conversation, right? Biggest obstacles, OU or Texas Tech. OU and Texas Tech. Huh? OU and Texas Tech. Our biggest obstacles, what, to leave? You're saying, Eric, will you to be forced to play? Okay, so per the SEC proposed pod structure, right? It is 9 games in schedule. I mean, 9 games in conference and 3 games out of conference. So will they play FCS teams? I don't know. It just depends on who they schedule. I would hope not. I don't want to see a Western directional school play. I don't. I don't. I'd rather see us play somebody um, that's decent. Oh, this year, yeah, Eric. Teams are obstacles. I mean, of course, OU. I don't think you can throw Iowa State down the drain either. Iowa State is they still got their quarterback coming back, right? Who else? I think we'll get Texas. I'm not worried about Texas Tech. Uh, it's going to be interesting to see how this team, kind of just acts when it comes to the coaching that's here and how they're going to respond. But yeah, of course, it's always OU. And it's going to be some fluke team. I would say OU, Iowa State, and some fluke team. Those are going to be our tough battles. Whether it's TCU or it's Texas Tech, it's always good for some fluke team in the Big 12 that's going to put up 60 to 70 points on a weekend, and it's going to make you feel like you're crazy. I'm going through comments. Yeah, concur. That's what I meant to say. Oh yeah, you want to say Iowa State? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, Iowa State. Brock Purdy. That's what I'm thinking. Brock Purdy's a beast, man. I wouldn't say a beast, but he's been very serviceable in the Big 12, and he's willed this team to win some very important games. So very very serviceable. But it's gonna be interesting, man. Yeah. But I was talking about NIL. So NIL. This is where I think this is the main reason I think Texas. This is just Nick Battle's opinion. This is Nick's opinion, right? We all know how the SEC goes uh, when it comes to recruiting back in the day. And Tennessee, what was it? The McDonald's bags, the McDonald's bags full of money. So now the NIL kind of makes it. So now you get deals from different companies and representatives to have you represent them. So booster money legal. So I think that is the main reason that is probably one of the main reasons Texas did kind of reach out for that, because now they can legally go head to head with some of these teams when it comes to having these kids get paid. I know kids going to Oregon. I know, man. I was skeptical, but I'm convinced. Yeah, hey Eric, some people are against me when I say this, but I'm always for the player. If you guys don't know my history, man, I went to Texas from '01 to '05, and I was the RA for the football team. And so, you just saw what these kids went through, all the stuff that they had to go through, and I'm always going to be in the side of the player. I saw like all the morning workouts that they had to go through, and I saw that they couldn't get the majors that they wanted to get because they had a full time job, and the full time job was football practice, weightlifting, film study. It was crazy. It was intense, and it was nonstop. And so these kids didn't have the opportunity to get the degree that I wanted to get, which I'm an engineer, so I went to Texas, got a degree in engineering. I'm an ME, and there aren't many kids that play football that go get a mechanical engineering degree because, for one thing, they just don't have the time. So I totally get it. So I saw what these kids have to go through. I saw their bodies get beat up. I had a fraternity brother that actually played football. He walked on at Texas and played for, I think, 3 years. He got a national championship ring. He's a offensive coordinator, for a high school here in Texas. And so I saw firsthand what these guys had to go through. He was a walk on. I saw the stuff he had to go through. I had another fraternity brother who ran track at Texas. Two of my best friends ran track at Texas. So yeah, I saw firsthand what these athletes have to go through, and you don't have the luxury of getting a real major and things of that nature. Yeah, that is awesome. That is awesome. Um, Hope he follows through and gets it. I think there's an engineering degree. So he played at Texas also. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Marcus got a yeah, engineering degree also, but I could be wrong. Yeah, he's one of the few. It's I think Marcus Meyer, far few in between that actually get the opportunity to do that. So when it comes to the NIL and these kids get paid for the name and image and the likeness, man, I'm all for the player because they just can't go get a normal job like we can. Because they got to film study, and of course we as fans we want them to film study. We want them to train their best because by God they got to go beat OU next weekend, right? Or if they go to the SEC, we got to beat A&M on Thanksgiving. All right. So, you want your team to be focused in doing that, and I don't think a kid can be focused and do those 20, 40 hours a week on football. We're not even talking about the classroom work, and then have to, eventually study and then have a job. It's just not possible. That football is a full time job. It is a full time job. Oops. Let's see what we got. One thing in NAL that worries me is addicting after a while and could affect his ability on the field and being focused on what matters. I mean, you can say that about anything though. I mean, let's be for real. So these kids are stars. I mean, so they're women throwing themselves at them all the time. That's addicting too. I mean, so they're gonna. I mean, yeah, I'll just leave it there. But I've seen a lot of stuff on my floor when I was in school. These kids can wait to get out of practice for certain reasons. It was what it was. So there's an addiction for everything. There's an addiction for everything when it comes to a guy to a player that has stature. So I'm for the player. I feel like they should have the opportunity to get paid if they can. I'm sure there will be some. Yeah, there's gonna be burnouts. Do you think it's SEC or for basketball? It would be exciting to see what the new coach does. Oh man, I know SCD. Are you saying SEC is immediately, Eric? Oh yeah, SEC. Okay. I don't know if it happens immediately, man. I don't know if they said 2025, right? So nobody knows the exact time. But if Texas and OU was to all the reports that come out, they have basically pulled out um, of any deals post 25. They didn't re up, so it would have to happen at least by 25. I would with the amount of money that these teams have, I could see it definitely happen sooner. Oh, we just had a decommit, Dave. Gilbo, so Gilbo, the defensive back, number 17 player in the state, 150th ranked player by rivals in the country. He just decommitted last night, at midnight. So was fame comes with a price too. Best ones are the ones who don't let it phase them too much. Yeah, that's true. Like my old teammate plays for OU. He said the honeys are wild. I understand, So and all doing the same thing. So that's why I think my boss grouped me up. Yeah, we had wild times. But in saying all that, yeah, man, I future. There's a lot of things that can discourage these kids. A lot of things, and so it's not just the money. I went to Missouri and I welcome our old conference member to the SEC. Welcome to the jungle. You know what's funny though? When me and Texas A&M went to the SEC initially, they kicked the shit out of the SEC. They did good. I mean, they did. Johnny Football, Missouri did good. I mean, they were busting heads in the SEC. And so Jordan Thomas told me Guillebeau wants to visit other schools but hasn't ruled out Texas completely. So it's a chance if you want to still pursue him. And yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it. But he's decommitted. So, he's not with the squad anymore. So it is what it is. Um, we'll see what happens, man. But guys, what time is it, man? I got to get up. It is currently late. I got to get my son. But yeah, I got to go, guys. But man, I appreciate all the comments. I haven't been live in a minute, and I want to start going live a little bit more. I need to, and definitely when the football season starts, I'm going to go live pretty much after every game. And guys, be on the lookout for my new website. It's going to be NinosCorner Sports, and I am doing basically like a pro football focus for Texas sports, man. This is pretty dope, man. So I've been doing metrics, the Ninos Corner number for a long time, for about 5, 6 years. And now it is going to be something that I'm going to unveil after every game and show player metrics. Basically, it's like a QBR for your running backs, your wide receivers, your tight ends, your skill position. So on that note, guys, man, appreciate you. Cheers, Eric. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate everybody. Marcus, don't know where Texas Tech is going, but I got to go for my wife kills me, and she's from Alabama, and she's pretty tough, man. But all right, guys, man, salute, man. Peace, y'all.